If you didn't know all this stuff was happening, you need to follow more black people. That's all I'm saying. We gotta talk about Colourpop. A lot of people are plugging their ears. Well, I don't want to hear this about Colourpop because it is their favorite brand and they want to get on their PR or whatever. But I am just done, and I'm going to tell you why. So there are two main reasons why I don't like Colourpop, don't support them, won't buy from them anymore, even though I haven't in a while. I've decluttered most of the things that I've had just because I don't want to mention them or put any more promotion out there for the brand. The first reason is that I think their business model is shady. Well, while it works, I'll give them that. Their business model and their marketing tactics work, but it's really shady to me and I don't appreciate it, especially the environmental aspect. And number two, the covert racism. There's a lot to unpack there, so buckle up. I guess I'll talk about the consumerism thing first, because there's a lot more hard facts. So a while back there was this documentary that was put out by Netflix. It was like a series, but I think the first episode of it was about makeup. And like Marlena from Makeup Geek was in it. They featured Colourpop. They featured like counterfeit stuff from China and a whole bunch of other things in this episode relating to the makeup industry. And they had the CEOs of Colourpop on there who literally said that they were purposefully like the quote-unquote fast fashion of makeup. They could take an idea, like a makeup product, from concept to having it available for sale in just a number of days. Whereas if you watch YouTube videos, you know, like influencers and makeup brand owners talking about how long it takes to produce a product, it usually takes months to years to produce a product. Colourpop has a lot of launches. They release a lot of new makeup very, very frequently. I didn't really notice like how frequently. It seemed like it was every week, and I proved myself right because I spent like half an hour scrolling through their Instagram, writing down, literally I wrote this whole piece of paper is all of their launches between July and now of this year alone, 6 months. And they're aware, they kind of make a meme out of the fact that they release a lot of makeup. And while I think like as long as people are buying it, they're going to keep up that pattern. But if people were like, hey, you guys need to stop, like, you know, we're not going to buy all this makeup because it's too much. But no, people buy it because the price point is low and because they make a lot of things seem like limited edition, even though they may not be. And they really, really heavily promote the gotta collect them all mentality. They'll repost, like if you take a picture that's like really aesthetically pleasing with all of their palettes laid out or whatever, they'll probably repost it and just show people who have a ton of their makeup and make other people feel like they need to also collect every palette, every lip shade, every blush, or whatever else that they have. And this is honestly really sad to me because there are people who are buying these things, like they use Afterpay or whatever other program that they have to buy makeup that they don't need and they can't afford in order to have this collection and have everything from Colourpop because they want a lot of makeup, but sometimes it's too expensive. Well, Colourpop is pretty affordable. Like most of their palettes are less than $20. Their lip products are like what, $5 or $6. So I'm not telling you to not do this or to not buy Colourpop. I'm just telling you why I don't and why I think it's a problem. So if you want to collect all this stuff and you have the money, the space, whatever, go for it. But especially like with other stuff I'm going to mention in this video, I feel really icky about Colourpop in general. So let me count. I didn't actually count these. There's 23 launches in 6 months. So that's like almost 4 a month, right at about 1 a week like I had suspected. And some of them weren't even a week apart. They were like 2 or 3 days apart. I stopped scrolling like backwards when I got to July. I was like, there's no point because there's already like filled up this whole page. And it's like they release a collection before the orders even ship for the one that they released the week before. So I'm like, why? Like, I don't understand. I know like everybody doesn't buy every single thing, but there are a lot of people who do. That's why they keep doing what they're doing, because it's working as far as their marketing standpoint. Remember back around April, May, June-ish, that season of 2020 where there was a huge movement for racial justice and that type of thing. I'm not going to get too much into detail because, you know, that's not the topic of the video. But there was a call for makeup brands, clothing brands, companies in general to be more inclusive and to present their diversity on their staff. And Colourpop, not good. They only had 3% of their employees were black out of, I think this one website that I was looking at said they had 170 some employees, so that's like 5 or 6 people. Back in 2017, they were in trouble for, like I say in trouble, but like in the news, media, whatever, for basically making like racist shade names for something. There was some product, I think like a bronzer, I can't remember exactly what it was, but they made like bad, like negative shade names for the darker end. Like they were something called like typo and yikes or something for like the darker shades. I'm like, who thought that was a good idea? Then they have consistently discontinued collections and shades that are suitable for deeper skin tones. I don't know any people of color, black people, who say that they can use any of their palettes. The only one that I've seen people talk about that they can use is the Raw Beauty Christie palette, because she really made an effort to get them to make like more pigmented shades. Some of these, like the Hello Kitty palette, I stopped paying attention for a while. The Colourpop, the Colourpop Land palette, the Candyland thing, like that would barely have even shown up on me. Like, I also found a post from June 4th on their Instagram where they finally acknowledged the hashtag Colourpop Me Black movement. So up until that point, they rarely ever reposted any people of color who were using, or BIPOC, BIPOC, who were using their products. And if you scroll through now, you can see BIPOC using their products, like they repost them, but they're all light-skinned. So 2 fairly well-known by now makeup influencers, Neon MUA and Killer King, made a hashtag called Colourpop Me Black, where they were encouraging black people to post their content on there. So hopefully the Colourpop would see that all of these black people love their products and would like to be reposted by them, work with them. They finally acknowledged them. Well, first they posted a lot of black creators. No mention of Neon MUA and Killer King. Until June 4th, they finally reposted them and said, this is long overdue, blah, 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 we should have done this. And they promised in that post to be more shade inclusive, and they said, well, we'll do this not just with our complexion products, but with other things like eyeshadows and blushes and bronzers and whatever else they said. Okay, so where's that? Like, if it takes you a few days to turn around a product, where is this that you promised in June? It's now December and they have yet to do that. And that's not based on like what I think of the shades. Like, I look at and take into consideration other people's comments and comments that black people that I follow are making on these posts that they're like releasing whatever collection. Because I try to think about that myself when I'm reviewing a product, but I don't know. Like, as a white person, I don't know for sure just by looking at a product if a black person would be able to use it, because I have obviously never experienced that, and they would know what kind of things would work for them and what kind wouldn't. Or if they've tried it and they swatched it and you literally can't even see the swatch. So after that, they were kind of quote-unquote canceled until they came out with that Baby Yoda palette. I can't say what I was about to say there. Everybody that I follow, just about, that I can think of, was like, yeah, that's awful, like, they're not inclusive, they're not posting black people, blah, blah, blah. Oh, look, Baby Yoda. They're like, oh, I know that Colourpop is problematic, but this is Baby Yoda, so I have to get it. Hi, no you don't. And that just drives me nuts, because it's like, I know I'm not perfect, and I probably still use some brands that may be problematic, but it's like, oh, they're like, oh, I know that Colourpop is problematic, but blah, 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 I still like them and all this stuff. And it's like, there's a line that you have to decide for yourself, like what you will support and what you don't, because still to this day, some people haven't canceled Jeffree Star, which is another topic, but it's like he is on camera, recorded and proven saying nasty things to people that he shouldn't have been saying them to. Shouldn't have been saying them to anybody, but he is on camera, recorded, it's documented, it's on the internet, and he is the face of the brand. But if it's a brand like Colourpop, they don't have like a face. You know, they're not like spearheaded by a influencer or a celebrity or whatever. So it's like people, it's easier to forgive them or overlook things when there's not like a person attached. I mean, if you genuinely didn't notice all that stuff, fine, whatever, that's fair. If you're presented with the information and you know, and like other people have said it, and which, by the way, if you didn't know all this stuff was happening, you need to follow more black people. That's all I'm saying. I hope the Colourpop stans don't come for me in the comments. I'm just telling you what I think, and again, you can still buy from them if you want to ignore all this stuff, fine. But I'm just telling you why I'm not going to support them anymore. I'm not going to mention them. I have a few products left over that I'm trying to use up, and that's it. Let me know your thoughts if you're going to buy from Colourpop anymore, if you knew all this already and whatever, or if you're just finding this out and not going to support them anymore. Let me know what your thoughts are, and don't attack anybody else in the comments, please. Anyways, that's it for me. Click up here to watch my most recent video, or click up here to watch another one that you might like. And give this video a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss seeing my face in your subscription box every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Links to my social media and my business, my website will be in the description box below, and I will see you guys in the comments. Bye.